righty, BT and Sal. You know, it's largely been a sea of negativity around here, and understandably so. Aaron Rodgers gone, Giants absolutely inept, Buck and Billy gone, Cashman unfortunately back. I'm here to tell everybody, starting with my partner Sal, BT and Sal on the Fan.
Hi.
Hey, buddy, that despite this sea of negativity, there's actually an incredible amount of optimism, the way I see it, with the New York sports scene, to the point where a championship will be bestowed upon one of these fan bases within 2 years. Now, I knew that your first reaction was going to be to laugh or chuckle or whatever. That was like a half a chuckle, half a sigh. First of all, before you fire back and probably try to rip this to shreds, expect this. Yanks and Mets, massive winters coming up. The Knicks are a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference, in my opinion. They've got incredible payroll flexibility at about 10 first-round picks. All right. The Rangers are a top 10-ish team. The Devils are a top 5-ish team. And by the way, as much as we talk about, the Giants and obviously the football, which has been the main source of our recent sporting consternation, you know where I am on the Jets. Jets are going to the playoffs, and I still have faith, fairly unwavering, in the Shane Dable dynamic. 2 years, someone's celebrating.
I give you credit, BT. I don't know, do you just think about this before you go to sleep, or you wake up and just you know what, I'm going to attack today and be positive? Because
you want to know the honest answer?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to think it's the latter. I try to wake up and be positive.
All right, because I'm getting that sense because between Zach Wilson being a star, the Jets going into the postseason, the Yankees going to get it turned around and be big spenders. Dude, the sports in this town have stunk for a long time.
I agree with that.
A championship in 2 years? I mean, I could eliminate teams right off the bat. Yeah, the Knicks have been better, and maybe this year they could actually make the postseason for consecutive years for the first time in, I don't know, forever? Since the 90s? Think about how long that's been. So the Knicks are nowhere near a championship. The hockey teams, the Devils maybe, but they don't even count. I hope the Rangers can. I hope the Islanders can, but to say that they can win a championship, we know the Giants and Jets. I mean, whether you think the Jets are going to go to the postseason or not, that might be a possibility. I'm not seeing it. And even with the Mets and Yankees, probably the best opportunity for a championship, they're far from that. The Yankees certainly, being they haven't been to a World Series since 2009, and they have major issues with the general manager who shouldn't be there and still is. And the Mets have themselves said basically they're going to take a little bit of a step back this year.
Which I don't believe, by the way. I think the Mets are going full bore. I do. Listen, I understand that this is probably, I don't want to say outlandish, because I think when I lay it out, I don't think it's, if you really listen to what I'm saying, I don't think it's outlandish. Again, I think the Yanks and the Mets go bonkers this offseason. And I think they make last year, this past season, kind of feel like a bit of an aberration.
You think the Yankees and Mets can close the gap in their respective leagues to get?
The Mets aren't catching the Braves for a couple of years, but you get to the playoffs. So anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
Well, King Cohen. I mean, when is he going to start?
I agree.
If we're going to keep touting King Cohen, do something.
Agreed. But you're saying, maybe
which I think he will.
Maybe 3 years. And look, maybe
3 years.
Maybe 2 to 3 years. Well, not this year. They're not going to win a World Series this next season, and neither are the Yankees. You think the Yankees are as good as any team in the AL East? They're not.
No, but did the Orioles look that good in the playoffs?
Are
we sold on Toronto? The Red Sox still rebuilding? Who's the team that the Yankees, with a couple of swift moves this winter, which I believe they will make, who can't they jump over?
Oh, my God.
If you start next October with a rotation of Cole and the young man that I know that you think the Mets are getting, that the Yankees will get.
The Mets are getting Yamamoto. Yankees aren't getting him.
Cole and Yamamoto, I mean, you got a chance right there.
No,
and
they
you're not going to have Judge, sitting on ice for 65 games.
No, Yankees don't have a chance. Dude, where have they been, though? Since 2009, they haven't been to a World Series.
Where were they 2 years ago? 101 wins.
They're getting worse. The Yankees have had 3 consecutive regular seasons that are substandard New York Yankee regular seasons.
I just think it's largely overstated. You asked me this precipitous fall.
Well,
and maybe that's not overstated, because it was precipitous. Mets crashed. Yankee, that's actually the wrong way to frame it. It was precipitous.
Prior to last year, the Jets and Giants stunk.
I understand that.
The Giants, it proved to be an aberration of a season, went to the divisional round. They're nowhere close.
That's evidence right there. 2 years ago, when Dable and Shane were hired, we were sitting here thinking that the Giants were going to win 3 or 4 games, that Daniel Jones would be gone, and they would reboot completely differently. Now, again, until proven otherwise, that proves to be a bit of an outlier for the Giants here. But have we learned anything about sports? It's like one swift in-season move that changes. Are you telling me the Knicks don't have a chance to get Joel Embiid? At some point.
I'm telling you, the Knicks are nowhere near a championship
I understand
contender.
that, but you've got to look beyond the
Right.
and that's what I'm doing, admittedly. Of course, the way the Knicks are set up right now, the Knicks aren't going to win the championship this
Well,
year.
give me the top 2 who are close to what you said.
The
2
Devils.
years.
The Devils are right.
Yeah,
Devils are
they
the top.
don't even
We can
count.
dismiss I haven't watched the Devils game
Right.
on TV in the last
Right.
out ever.
Yeah,
outside of when
unfortunately-
they play the Rangers,
Right,
maybe.
exactly. They
Okay,
smoked
but
the
that doesn't mean
Rangers in
that
the
they don't
postseason.
exist.
No, I get it, but the Devils don't even count as
But
far
they
as
do
champions.
count.
Not to me, they don't.
Well,
they can win all their championships. Not New York, they're in New Jersey. But all right.
So the Giants and the Jets.
No, but they're
What do
New
you mean,
York.
no?
It's the New York Jets and New York Giants. The Devils and Nets don't count to me, even though the Nets are now in Brooklyn. It's not New York.
I mean, boy, you are very territorial with your with your parameters of the outliers of the city here.
I will admit,
I mean, come on, dude. These are local teams.
I don't think I've ever woken up and chosen positivity.
No, you don't.
Reality, yes.
Yeah, well, Hey, listen, by the way, here's where it triggered. You asked me a question before. And yes, I try to wake up and I try to skew positively. You know, it's not always easy, I guess, especially pertaining to sports. It's been a sea of negativity. But you know what really triggered this today? I swear to God.
Yeah.
Coming in, listening to Boomer and Gio. You know who was on this morning?
Your guy.
St. John's, Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
If Rick Pitino, that's another team that I'll throw in there. You can laugh all you want. Rick's coming. And I don't know that there's been, sorry, St. John's, I love you, but a more frustrating symbol of underachievement and waywardness, like just losing your way, than St. John's basketball the past couple of decades. Even that is about to change. So, listen, you guys, you could wake up, you could choose violence, you could choose happiness, you could choose somewhere in between. I choose a realistic look at the sporting scene. Right now, it's heavy, it's sad, it's depressing. Within 2 years, it's going to be the exact opposite.
No, here
we go.
You didn't choose a realistic approach. You chose a positive approach, which I respect. The realistic approach is these teams have done nothing to warrant you saying that one of them is going to win a championship. Like I said, I'll give you the Devils. It's possible they could win a Stanley Cup, but I'm just not counting them in the main equation. Islanders, Rangers, sure. I think that their window has closed more so than where they were a few years ago. The Jets are nowhere near a championship, especially without Aaron Rodgers, but even with him, it was going to be an uphill battle. You're talking about a team that hasn't made the postseason in 13 years? The Giants, a team who overachieved a year ago, they've completely regressed. You're saying they're going to win 3 games, and now what? They're going to be in the mix, so let's rule out them. The Knicks haven't sniffed a championship since the 90s. The 90s, that's a very long time. While they are better, while they are expected to make the postseason, they're nowhere near championship caliber. That basically rules out everybody but the baseball teams, one of which hasn't been to a World Series since 2009. The other, who has embarrassed themselves every which way, is basically now under a new regime with a new president, without a manager and without a general manager. Like, I just don't see it, PT. Now, obviously, I want it to happen.
Listen, I got it. I think most people are going to be with you. Because most people don't have the ability to look into the future like I do.
Right.
I understand that. It's just a rare gift given to me by God.
You know what I was thinking?
It's a heavy burden. It's tough to carry that cross. Most people don't have it.
I understand and I respect it, putting yourself out there. But you know what I was thinking on the train coming in this morning?
What?
That
how filthy the trains are and how slow they are.
No,
what
actually, not bad. You have set yourself up to just take an absolute beating. Not with this argument, because I didn't know we were going to talk about this today, but with the Jets in particular.
That's fine.
When they lose to the Giants, when they miss the postseason.
There's no way they're losing
when
that game.
Zach Wilson regresses. Dude, and I respect the positivity and the belief, but you're believing in something that has crushed you so many times. And now you're taking it a step further beyond just the Jets and making it about New York sports, which has... it's been awful here. All the teams that we have, we can't pick a winner, for goodness sake. Philadelphia has great success, whether it's their basketball team, their baseball team, their football team. Boston, even in bad years, they've had more success. Like, we have double the teams, and Way less
less
results.
results.
I mean, come on.
It's changing. Thank God it's changing. I think it is. I think many of you think I'm nuts. 877-337-6666. BT and Sound on the Fan. 2 years. 2 years. There will be a championship. And by the way, I could play the cute card and say within 2 weeks there might be a championship. Liberty might win. I'm not going to go.
I'll give you that. I don't know anything about it, but maybe they will.
I think they're playing the Aces.
Yeah.
But listen, this is about the teams that I just mentioned here. And by the way, good luck to the Liberty. It's not a knock at all. I'm pushing this forward. They're obviously very good now. So before we get to these calls here, all right. So one of the key, or really the main aspects of investing is trying to get in on something when it's low.
Right.
And then obviously riding the wave of success, getting low, and then obviously reaping the rewards.
Like I was doing with the Mets.
Yeah. And
Right.
if you look at the principles of investing, buying versus selling or just avoiding, I'm going to throw the teams at you. All right. Forget about 2-year window.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to tell me buy or sell. And there's a greater point to this exercise. You ready?
Yeah.
Are you buying? Now, not so much the championship, more the direction.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you buying the Knicks?
I mean, you started with probably the toughest one. But okay, buying what? Like believing in their stock rising?
Yes. Their ascent. Define ascent however you want. Just for the record, the Knicks have the 14th highest payroll this year. It's not like they're a top 4, top 5 seed and they're maxed out. They've got a payroll flex and they got 10 first round. What's your answer? You buying or selling?
Well, to me,
Or you pass? What are you doing?
They're leveled off. Like
I think you're nuts. I think the Knicks are just starting. So you're not buying.
How are they going to get better than what they are?
Because they can make a trade when you have all that money and assets. All right, see, we do
I've
see
heard about
things
this for
legitimately.
years.
I understand that. But now they've got a store in Brunson and they've got real flexibility.
I believe
you're not buying.
No, I believe in Brunson and I actually believe in Randall more
But you're
than
not buying
others.
the Knicks. You don't believe in Brunson enough because if you did, you'd buy. I'm buying. You buying or selling? Come on, this is an easy one.
I'll go buy.
You're going okay. So we're both buying,
but not championship buy.
Understood. Understood.
Yeah.
Direction, ascent, progress.
Well, do I think they're going to be as good as last year or go as far as last year? No. So in that aspect, I probably sell. But like big picture, long term.
Can you make money off them? If you know what the principles of? So you're going to say
they're
no?
a tough one. I'm going to say I'll buy the Knicks.
I think you have
I'm
to.
sorry. Yeah,
Jeez, that shouldn't be that hard. Jesus. All right. Are you buying the Devils? I know in Sal's crazy mind the Devils don't exist.
I hate the Devils,
you buying?
but yes, I'll buy.
You have to buy. They're one of the top 5 teams. They got a 6th superstar.
Right.
Next, are you buying the Rangers to be, a playoff team
Yes,
with
I'm
a
buying
great
the
goal?
Rangers,
Of course
yes.
you're buying. So far.
I love the Rangers.
Okay. So far, we're 3 for 3. We're in complete alignment. We started the show. You told me that I'm absolutely insane for throwing it out there what I'm throwing out.
This is different.
And you are now buying every team that I've mentioned to start.
Right.
And we're just beginning.
Yeah, but also, these investments are supposed to be made over the long term.
Of course.
Like, you're not buying Bitcoin and hoping that it goes up overnight.
Are you buying Hughes?
You got to sit that one out.
Are you buying Hughes?
The
For
Devils Hughes? Yes, of course.
Okay, are you buying Brunson?
Yes.
The answer is yes. So
Yes.
you are buying young and you are buying with
Igor. I'm buying Shesterkin. He's the goalie for the Rangers. Yes,
I know
okay.
that. Come on, dude. Come on. Are you? I know you're going to laugh at this. They don't exist. They don't matter. I'm even buying the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets core is good.
Now
are you buying
lost me. No, no
you
chance.
Just buy,
as long as Ben Simmons is there, I'm selling everything I
actually
own
look
with
pretty
them.
good tonight. So you're not going to buy, which I didn't think that you would, which I kind of get.
I'll buy
but
St.
do
John's.
disagree. You got to buy the Johnnies.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah,
I do believe in it.
You have to. Okay, so now I am 5 for 5.
You throw them in there. I'll buy the
Honestly, I don't
Islanders.
know enough about the Isles, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, they got a shot.
6 for 6.
Yeah, I like their goalie.
Are you buying the Jets for the next couple of years, having a roster with better quarterback play, understandably, a great defense, young talent? Yes or no?
Do you remember when Ted DiBiase asked Hulk Hogan if he was going to if he could buy the world championship?
I do. By the way, Ted DiBiase, the very underrated.
And do you
character.
remember Hogan's answer?
Virgil, that was good.
Do you remember Hogan's answer to DiBiase?
I don't.
Hell no! I'm not buying the Jets.
I do remember that, actually.
Yeah.
I do remember that visual. So
I'm
you're
not
not
buying
buying that.
the
Okay. All right. So I think I've at least exercised enough.
Not buying the Giants, not buying the Yankees, and yes on the Mets, just to round that out.
Of course you're going to buy the Mets.
I mean, King Cullen, if I'm going to buy anybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
So am I. As much as I was maybe among the first to tell anybody, I didn't think the Mets would make the playoffs this year. I, too, am buying the Mets based on what I think they do this offseason. Same applies to the Yankees. You can hate. Listen, it takes vision. It takes vision to understand what I'm saying. It takes intelligence to embrace this. It takes a next level leap of faith and understanding of the business of sport to embrace what I'm saying. Not everybody's capable.
Are you familiar with Barry Horowitz?
Yeah, of course, Barry.
What was
sure?
his famous thing?
Was he the IRS guy?
No.
Why am I mixing that up?
Barry Horowitz was the guy that used to pat himself on the back. That's
right. 877-337-6666. BT
It
and
takes
Sal.
vision that only BT has right now.
On the Fan inside of our Town Fair Tire studio. Of course, always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Within 2 years, the championship window will be born and will come to fruition. It's coming. It just doesn't seem like it right now. Mark's in Seaford. What's going on, Mark? How are you?
I'm good, BT. How are you, man?
I'm okay, buddy.
So listen, BT, we ran into each other outside the Garden after a St. John's game right before you pulled your hammy. And so I was meaning to call you last week. I'm thinking you're getting a little ahead of yourself, a little delirious with this pumping New York with false hope here. You started last week with Zach Wilson. Dude, he's not the guy.
And by the way, I'll let you continue. I promise. To me, it's not false hope. It is more. It's an unconventional way to express the truth. Is the way that I'll term it. But the thing about Zach, I hear you. I am kind of by myself with Zach Wilson. Last 2 games he's played, he's been the best quarterback on the field. Better than Mahomes, better than Wilson. Keep going. Keep going. 2 Hall of Famers.
Well,
that's just fact. But keep going.
Well, and in addition to that, I mean, you know, I think that we as Jet fans have been struggling and wanting something so long, and we got our answer week 1, not even 4 plays into the season. We are cursed. It ain't going to ever happen.
Oh, I can't. Mark, goodbye. Mark, listen, next time I see you at the Gordon St. John, say hi. Hopefully the hammy's healthy. I don't like to hang up on people. Sal usually does that.
Yeah.
I can't. Stop with the curses. I'm not wasting my time on that. Stop with the curses. I do not believe in that. I will not accept that. Peter in Wanacue, I believe is how you say it. I believe. Peter, what's happening, buddy? How you doing today? BT and Sal?
Doing well, gentlemen. How you guys doing today?
Okay.
What's up, Peter?
Good. Just calling. I am a local New York fan for the last 40 years. I got to stay positive. You know, as a fan, you got to think positive. And a couple of things that make me feel good about the Mets. These aren't the Wilpons anymore.
Yep.
You got Cohen. He gave us some excitement. He did what he tried to do. Didn't work out. Clean slate, starting over. When you have a guy with deep pockets like him, anything's possible. That's number one. Number 2, regarding the Knicks, I've been a longtime Knicks fan. I've enjoyed the last 3 seasons. Obviously, they're not a championship team. We're not going to beat Boston, Milwaukee, or Philly yet.
Yep.
But I like what they're doing. They haven't traded away their team like the Nets
Yeah,
did.
but we're talking about championships here, Peter. BT said a championship in 2 years. Pick the team that's going to win a championship in 2 years in this town.
Think about this. The Knicks got picks, and they got money.
Oh, my God. You guys, I love the Knicks more than anybody. Stop. Just stop.
Is that that's the Mets sweatshirt. They had the Knicks on yesterday, right?
The Knicks cannot win a championship in 2 years.
Why not?
Even if they get
Honestly,
Embiid.
legitimate question. Why not?
Why not? They're not good enough.
They're not good enough.
They're not even close, actually.
Not close. They were.
They weren't a championship team. They would have gotten waxed. First of all, they didn't get to the NBA Finals.
Very easily could have gotten to the Eastern Conference Finals. They really could have last year. They could have.
But they didn't.
I understand that, but they're in the mix.
They could have, but they didn't against a team who, by the way, people thought they were going to beat. Like, going into that series, they were expected to beat Miami. They had home court, and they did not. So they lost a series that people expected them to win. They didn't. And that was 2 levels away from where they needed to get to win a championship. Even if they beat Miami, you think that they were winning the next round? You think that they were beating the Denver Nuggets? I mean, come on. The Celtics are far superior. The Bucks have gotten better. The Sixers are better. The Heat are better.
Forget about the Heat.
What do you mean forget about the Heat? They just beat them. The Heat are better.
Jimmy, but does Jimmy Butler look like he's interested in playing basketball recently?
Jimmy
and
Butler,
I love Jimmy's an OG, but Jimmy Butler, and I know he's not young. And I don't think they got the pieces around them. Forget about the Heat.
But they just beat the Knicks last year.
I understand that. And they tipped
and
the cap.
I hate Miami. But BT, paint this scenario, because for the Knicks to win a championship, they have to get a superstar player, right?
I agree with that.
Okay, even if they got Embiid, they're not. The Sixers haven't won a championship with Embiid.
But they don't have Jalen Brunson to play with Embiid.
Oh, but the Sixers have had stars around him before.
Who?
Oh, come on. The Sixers have brought in plenty of guys here.
I'm waiting for one. Who's the true star? Tobias Harris? Ben Simmons, who was terrified to shoot with his left hand or didn't even know what hand to shoot? Who?
Yeah, look,
Doc Rivers, who chokes more than any coach?
You think if the Knicks currently constructed, not to mention what you're going to have to give up to get Embiid.
You give up first-round picks, you give up Grimes, you give up whatever you give, you make it happen.
Yeah.
It's actually an easy trade.
Probably take more than that. I don't think it's going to be that easy trade.
I don't want to get
right.
too...
But let's just say that the Knicks did get Embiid and they kept, for the most part, their team intact. They're still not as good as the Bucks or the Celtics, and maybe not even Miami, honestly. Like, until I see it, or certainly not Denver. I mean, we're not even talking about the West. We're just talking about the Eastern Conference. You're talking championship with the Knicks.
Not this year, 2 years. And I believe there's enough at the base of almost every one of these franchises, except with the exception right now, admittedly, of the Giants, but I do believe in Dable and Shane enough to at least push them into the periphery of the conversation if they do what I think that they could do.
God, the Jets and Giants are so far from a Super Bowl.
They're
it's not even funny.
The foundations of these teams are strong.
Who's their quarterback?
But again, admittedly, the Giants are last of, 9 teams
who's
to whatever
the Jets
it is.
Quarterback? Are you hoping on Aaron Rodgers next year? I mean, yeah, but even so, even with him, they're not good enough.
I got news for you. Jets might get Kirk Cousins in a week.
Oh, God.
They actually might.
And then what? They might miss out on the playoffs but with 9 wins?
Yeah, I woke up today and I said, all right, I'm seeing things that, listen, might not be right for you, but I legitimately believe. Now, listen, some of these teams are going to miss the mark by a mile. There's going to be an injury that derails everything. Mm-hmm. There's also going to be an unexpected arrival, like a Piazza type, like a Clemens type, like something if this is New York, like a Durant. I know it didn't work out with KD. Somebody massive is coming to this city, and almost every one of these teams is at least within striking distance.
We heard it with the Nets. We heard it with the Mets. We've heard it with the Yankees. We heard it with the Jets this year. How'd that all work out? Giants in the division around a year ago. How'd that work out?
Not well.
You got to be realistic here.
877-337-6666. All right, so the state of New York sports, I think it's a lot better than you do. Sal's not feeling it. More of your calls next on The Fan.